Welcome to the women's quarterfinal, SMO 2017. Brought to you by Yukon Discs. Here we have Bauhaus Elite versus Canberra Factory. This is Canberra Factory's second game on the showcase field. Joining me in the commentary box, I have Amelia Tony.
Hello, how are we going? I don't know, this is my first time commentating, so we'll just have a bit of a go, see what I can add to it.
No, absolutely welcome. We've got a big game here, and I reckon we're going to get a bit of excitement. I haven't seen the Bauhaus girls play. Have you seen them this weekend?
No, I haven't actually seen them either yet this season, so this should be a pretty good game. I can't wait to see what they've come up with and whether they've got any different plays this year. And the Factory girls, again, I haven't seen them this season either, so not sure how we'll go at the start here.
Yes, they saw Canberra Factory against Rogue Rage.
Oh, yes.
Hashtag Rogue Ride the Rage or something. No, the wind was a real big factor in that game, but they did really well adapting, and they have some really aggressive play and big throwers. Here we see Bauhaus setting up in a side stack. They're moving the disc across the field, centralizing, put it into space. Mei Lin Chow's not able to reel that in. So Canberra Factory had their first shot at offense. And the first put up to space to Dennis. She takes the grab over the player, and she looks to move downfield. And she finds the open player. Ringland puts it to space to Dawson in the end zone. Their first score to Canberra Factory. So we have the benefit for this game. We have our stats keepers next to us, so they'll be feeding us information as we go. We'll get all types of things.
Bauhaus won't be too worried about the start there. They'll be able to pick themselves up after that little turnover, and they'll come back pretty strong on this next one. There's significant different numbers in the teams. Bauhaus has quite a lot of players in comparison to Factory.
Yeah, Factory just rolled over their team quite well yesterday, used all their players, their whole squad, and I reckon I would have called each name quite a lot, as they use all their players really well. On the offense line for Bauhaus Elite, we're being led by Michelle Phillips, absolute veteran of the Australian game. Has a coaching role, captaincy role with this team, coaching the squad last year. She is a real pivotal player in this team. Em, have you played with Michelle before?
Yes, I had the pleasure of playing with Bauhaus when they were Team Box, so yeah, learn a lot from Mish, and yeah.
Early disc up in the air. Lots of space and all the time in the world. McDonald has the disc. She dumps it back to Chow, who's going to look for downfield, but she wants the around forehand. She finds the around. It's on the end zone line.
That's Tony to G there, I believe.
Is that a 75 or a 15? The third one. 27. Or is it 22? 25. Making a new list for them.
That's got to Jude Birchall. I believe she's an addition to the team this year. Looks like
I haven't seen her playing with Bauhaus before, so that's exciting. Good addition.
Very flexible player, good with the disc in hand, good downfield. She'll make a real impact with the squad. So, Emma, you floating around this weekend?
Yeah, just thought I'd come down and have a bit of a social catch-up, really. Didn't think I'd end up on the end of the commentating microphone, but yeah, I'm not playing Ultimate at the moment other than playing VUL with Ellipsis, so yeah, it's a lot of faces that I miss by not being around it. So it's good to come down and see a few people.
Absolutely, it's the beauty of any sport. If you're not playing, there are always other ways to be involved in the sport,
that's
and broadcasting is one way.
Why not step right to the top?
Welcome. It's that way with Frisbee teams. If you see someone not doing something, you find a job for them.
That's it.
Coaching, working with development squads. Anything you want.
All right, so we've got Bauhaus here on defense. Pull's gone up from S. And it's landed outside of the field. Factory have indicated that they'll take a brick.
Watson's going to bring the disc in from the brick mark. Has Adelaide Dennis as her dump. So, or isolating Dawson, who's working very hard to get free, is unable to get free. Now Dennis with the disc. Crow, powerful long cut, and she finds the space. And she's looking for a dump. She's swinging the arm around. There's very little crowded space there. I think Dennis got stepped on the toe. Mihatch picking up the disc. Has Vino as her dump. She finds Wei down the line, who puts the disc up into space. Beautiful offense from Bauhaus Elite. That's they get the turnover and are just clinical as anything. That's to Castro in the end zone. And Em, what do you think Factory has to do to bring this back?
I think Factory, I mean, they'll be getting into the rhythm of this game, and they'll just be looking at the Bauhaus plays, which haven't really been seen yet this season. So they've just got to adjust to what Bauhaus is showing them and use the toolbox of what they know to see if they can get through that. Yeah. And I think they have the ability to do that, certainly. There's lots of strong players on both teams, which will really help out to break down what the opposition are doing. So Bauhaus getting ready to pull with S looking to put that disc up. Factory have indicated that they're ready to go. Here we go. Disc has landed inside field. Kia picking up. Lorna passing. Big long throw there. Just out of reach. Bauhaus setting up with KP coming back to get the disc. Disc is in. Oh, turnover again. Dennis has got that one. And a turnover again. Bauhaus throw and go here. KP with the disc now. Long throw goes up. And we've got Cassie there is throwing the disc out there.
So disc gone down and Canberra Factory is now on offense. They're just going to take a moment to set up. It looks like Malombi's going to walk to the disc. Key player with this team with the disc in hand. She's going to look for the middle. There's a bit of a split stack set up. Finds the middle space. Deadman He moves the disc fast onto Dennis. Dennis looks really on fire today. Unfortunately, though, as I say that, cursed down disc. Shui.
D there from Lucy. And Lucy just trying to decide whether, no, she's just outside there, so she's made the pass there back to S. She's looking for her options to KP. And back to S for the spin.
Fantastic work from Shui Gross, following up her good work. Keeps on moving and knows where the space is. It's a very smart player there. I've played as a teammate with Shui, and yeah, great asset to any team she plays.
I had the opportunity of working with her on the Mondays as well, which was really fantastic. She's a superstar.
Yeah. Molombi is on the offensive line for Canberra Factory. She's calling the play, giving the instruction. Looks like we have Watson, Crow, Emerson, Dawson, Molombi. Just can't quite see those last two players. So Emma, who's your favourite for the weekend? Who's your favourite for the weekend that you've seen?
Well, this is actually only the first game that I've seen, so I'm not really sure. I haven't had a look at the standings currently, so.
Watson with disc in hand. It's a bit of a junk defence thrown, and she's looking to break, and there's a very hard mark from Birchall there. A bit of contact, but nothing called. Watson follows up her good work. She's looking to just pop it through, but not on. Emerson charging back, swings the disc. And there's a turnover.
Okay, so we've got Tony Cox there with the dish to Mish Phillips. Phillips is looking. Back to Birchall. Out there to Maylin Chung. Maylin comes back to Birchall. Phillips has a tough grab there, but she gets it. And into Cox, indicating that there is a turn there.
Unable to collect that down on the line there. Molombi has disc in hand at the end zone corner. She's straight away looking to get it off that line. Watson with disc in hand threads the space to Emerson. Looking across field. It's a crowded underzone at the moment. Back to Molombi, who's looking for Watson. Again, she's running through that wall, so there's not a lot of space. Watson disc in hand. Puts the disc up in the air to Crow. She shuts off the space from a defender. She looks around, just hoping for an option. And she puts the floaty forehand up to Watson. Molombi disc in hand. That zone offense still on, and the mark gets a hand on that, disc down.
Nice defense there from Chloe McDonald. Birchall up the line. She's looking for Chloe McDonald. Can't quite get there.
No go. Birchall looking to use a long backhand. It's a powerful backhand, but unfortunately not enough float on that one. Again, Watson. Absolute, just the controller of this line. Most lines when she's on. Picks up the disc to Molombi. Looking straight across field. They're trying to swing themselves out of this cup. They're just going to, Watson's going to follow up through the cup. She's looking to pierce it, but just a little bit stagnant from the cutters at the moment. From Factory. She's looking through the space again, asking for that, and McDonald runs through. There's a call. Foul called. The nod from McDonald suggests it's uncontested. The Blady over the top forehand across the field with Emerson. She's working very hard these first few points. Molombi looking across the pump and throw through for the break. Across the field to McDonald, to Watson. A little bit, two dump cutters there, and
Tony Cox has picked that up.
Cox on the chest.
Sorry, Mumford to Birchall. Into Malin there. Hayley Tans looking, couldn't quite get there. Defended by Factory.
Hayley Tan not able to reel that in. It was a lot of pressure coming from Dawson. Bigger Dawson able to defend it. Now we have Watson as per normal walking towards the disc. She'll look to control at this point from the handle position. Factory will be hoping to pierce through this this cup. This is kind of a poachy junk defence coming from Bauhaus. Cross to McDonald. I'll take that back to Foster. Dawson is looking through the cup, but not on. Cross backhand to Molombi. Spreads the field. Defence catches up. Back to McDonald. Foster loses the disc above her head.
Okay, Malin there with the disc. Tried to get it to Tony Cox.
Molombi to Dawson. Back to Molombi. They really want those long throws. They have Dawson going long. Look, Phillips is hard to get over.
Okay, Michelle picking up Michelle Phillips there to Tony Cox, to Maylin Chung. And it's just gone past Jess Mumford there.
Very impatient offense from
Yeah,
at the moment.
they are going quite quickly with it, that's for sure.
They're burning their opportunities, and of course they're getting a lot of discs, so if they start converting, yeah, there'll be trouble. Across the field to McDonald, just looking for a dump, and she finds Molombi on the opposite sideline again. Swing between the two. Watson in the middle, piercing throw, fantastic through the cup. Finds Dawson, who's going to look across field. Holsters the backhand. Watson looks for Emerson. Emerson cocks the forehand to Molombi. It's a very crowded little space there at the moment. Watson's going to look through that cup again. That's her prerogative at this point. She wants to keep it moving through that centre. Molombi seizes a space, puts it to McDonald, who hits Dawson on the chest.
A strong pass through there.
Yeah, really fantastic offense. And I think Dawson's spot on. She's looking to pierce that cup because she knows there's space behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, timeout has been indicated here by Bauhaus.
So you are permanently not playing, or will we see the return?
For the moment, yes. Permanently not playing for the moment. I don't see myself playing. Certainly not any overseas tournaments in the future. Possibly a comeback to nationals in some seasons, but not for the next few years. So, yeah, I'm certainly enjoying watching it though. It's great to see, so many people that I've played with in the past just going out there and doing what they love. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Now, you said you're playing VUL. Who was that with?
Yeah, so we've got the VUL women's and men's tournaments running at the moment, which the finals are actually here next weekend, which will be really great. And currently playing with the Ellipsis women's team that are in that league.
And how are they going?
Yeah, going pretty well at the moment. We'll be hopefully, if all things go well, we'll hopefully make the final next weekend. And I think Hoss and the Bauhaus team will probably give us a run for our money there too. So it will be an exciting tournament, finish to the tournament.
For anyone out of state, can you explain what VUL is?
Yeah, so the VUL, Victorian Ultimate League. So it started with mixed, and it was basically 4 players who are not at a national level yet. It was an opportunity for them to get together and learn a bit more about Ultimate and start forming, getting those skills together so that they can play at a national level. And so then the men's division was introduced, and now this year we finally have a women's division in there as well, which is really fantastic because there's so many talented young women coming up into this sport, and with the real big push there for women's sport and its development, it's really great to be a part of. So
yeah, it's fantastic. I've watched a couple of the games, and I'm seeing a lot of women's players that I haven't seen play.
Yeah, and there's lots of talent coming up, I can tell you that.
Yeah, and so the numbers are exploding. It's fantastic, and there's no better place for it than VUL. We're getting teams springing up from across the state.
Yeah, absolutely, and we need that development of younger players as the sport grows. We need more, so it's fantastic to see them coming from that division.
Am I right in saying the women's division was their first year with 2 divisions at Nationals last year? Division 1 and
yeah, I
Division 2?
believe so. It's just getting bigger and bigger every year, so it's fantastic.
Yeah. So after that timeout, fairly long timeout to be honest, we have Bauhaus Elite on offense.
Bauhaus are indicating that they're ready. Okay.
Yeah, bring the disc in.
Here we go. Karen Baker there picking up the disc.
Well, a tip on the defence from Barcham, and she's running hard. She's to follow up with Deadman picking up the disc. Finds a bar in the middle of the field, throws into the mark, and apologises to the mark.
Fantastic mark there. Karen Baker picking up the disc again. Going up there to Ingrid Venot. Oh, fantastic
the
grab
from Shuey Gross.
Shuey. She's taken that very awkward kind of catch for that goal.
A catch. That's a contender, a nomination for Yukon Discs Play of the Day. The grab on the leading edge, I think it was. So once they start making those connections, like we were saying before, they've had lots of opportunities, and if they hit those, they have the chance to put on some scores very fast.
Absolutely.
Here we see Yukon Discs Play of the Day, and that incredible grab from Shuey Gross. Looks like Watson calling the line. We've got Dennis, Watson, Crow. Who we got in the middle there? Emerson, Barr. McDonald over the top, finds the space. Ringland to Crow, finds Emerson. Emerson playing deeper handler role today compared as Cutter yesterday. Dennis, she's got the vertical leap, just doesn't quite reach the fingers.
Okay, Lucy Stevenson getting ready to pick up the disc for Bauhaus. And just out of reach there.
Short field game given to Factory. Ringland passes it to Molombi. Looks to go, she's looking to break, and she's very determined to break, but unfortunately hits the middle of the stack.
Stevenson's got that deep there. Rachel's picking up to Shuey Gross. There, back to Stevenson. Back to Gross. She looked for the long option, decided to no. Back to Stevenson. Oh, it's a beautiful long throw there. Fantastic catch there by
So Cassie Chen with the catch on the end zone line, dump back and score. So we saw Shuai Gross holster the 50-50, the huck earlier in the point, and they just controlled their offense a little bit more than we've seen so far.
they're certainly looking a little bit more in rhythm than they were a couple of points ago.
Definitely. The horizontal stack really worked for them at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've got some powerful receivers, so maybe that's a good option to open up the space down the field. Look at the absolute horde of players coming off the line on their bench.
Yeah.
Huge roster.
It's good to see though, because by the time you get to nationals, you definitely need those extra legs for the extra day.
See on the replay, Shuai Gross just finding herself in the right position again. Bircher with the pull. Factory on offense. It's a flat pull. 3/4 of the field, dead center. Air picks up, looks to the back end, finds a bar in the center of the field. She's pivoting around, finds was that Foster. Bartram finds Deadman, finds Dawson, looking to the end zone to bar. That's a nice easy offense in response.
And Factory will be able to respond to what Bauhaus are putting out there, so they've just got to keep working, recognising what's happening out there and choosing the best strategy to move through that.
What kind of defence are you seeing Bauhaus use in this game?
So Bauhaus are using some zone at the moment, and looking like a puppy, but they often have a little difference within their defensive points, and haven't been able to pick out what their actual little trick is this year yet. They always try and come up with something that's just a little bit different, which is good.
You know, they're a what's the word? A creatively coached team.
That's it.
See,
Creative's definitely the word, which is good.
See Ultimate a little bit different, and it's good. They use influences overseas. They had Japanese coach a couple of seasons ago helping them out.
Okay, Bauhaus have indicated they're ready.
A little bit more chat from the Factory girls. Coming in on defense. Oops, sometime soon.
Okay, here we go. Virtual picking up the disc to Phillips. Into Hayley Tan. To Malin. And up. And that's caught there by... Trying to find the number on the sheet here. Sano. That was pretty good offensive point there for Bauhaus. They'll be
Seeing
happy
both
with that.
teams really get their momentum and just their rhythm going.
Yeah, it's either a really long point or it's a really short one at this stage.
Yes. Factory yesterday afternoon. I'm not sure if you were around when the wind picked up.
Yeah.
I think the first 4 points averaged about 6 to 7 minutes a point.
Oh, wow. Ultimate's hard when it's like that too.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is be out there for longer than you have to be, really.
Yes, yeah.
And knowing the skill of these type of teams, you know, they're all very capable of getting the point done in a matter of minutes. And when you're out there and it's turning, it makes it really, really difficult.
That I believe halftime came at 70th minute of the game.
Oh, wow.
80-minute game. So they're slogging it out. They're working hard.
It's one of those factors of this game that make it really, really difficult.
Yeah.
It's the wind. The weather could go either way here today as well. It's a bit of rain and a bit of sun. Almost ready for the next point here. We've got Shuai Gross is going to pull. Just a couple of last comments there on the line before she makes that move. Here we go.
Been some long breaks between points this game. I feel like that 60 seconds is maybe...
That's just women. We talk too much. Got to get it right.
The side stack air looks to Foster, not on. Looking across the field for the dump and finds the dump at Barcham. Barcham swings back on the forehand, not on. Looking for air.
Whoa.
Body contact. Matthews keeps it well out of the way. Just flying over Emerson's head. Air not able to reel it in either.
Okay, Karen Baker there picking up to Kath Matthews. Looking for KP. Doesn't find her. We've got Ingrid Vinot there. Back to Shuai Gross. To Matthews. Oh, very close there, but Vinot's got it. And just a missed catch there by Matthews.
Straight on force, really effective for Factory in that case. They really, no huck was on, sat under their players, and just wasn't anything available. Air finds Foster. Foster's looking down the line to Emerson, maybe a little bit risky, but Emerson changed their mind and comes under, and a throw.
And it does turn there.
It's not quite up to it.
Okay, so Ingrid Vinot is picking up the disc to Gross, and she's putting up long here, and just out of reach there of Paula Castrillon.
I would have put my money on Castrillon.
There
Maybe we need to have a discussion with Vinot or Vinot.
Oh, yes, see, my pronunciation is probably pretty poor, I'd reckon. It's not my strong point.
Yeah, with a filthy mark from Matthews on it. A lot of pressure. She reels around that backhand. She loves that backhand. Karen Baker, though, puts herself in the way.
Shuai Gross picking up to Matthews. She's looking to Baker. Waiting for an option. Vino's in there, and Vino has it. And she's in for the point.
Strong grab in the end zone. A lot of pressure from Emerson. Brings down the score. We have the scores at 6-3. Bauhaus Elite's way against the Canberra Factory.
Let's go Factory!
Can confirm it's 7-3. So Bauhaus Elite will be hoping for the break on this point to put the score in, take half, get a break. Ashley Birchall's going to bring the disc in. Got that powerful backhand. She's hoping to have it deep in the end zone. Watson returns to the line. Molombi. And it looks like Fiona McDonald's going to receive the disc. Moves it to the centre to Watson, who's looking across the field. And there's a straight up mark used by Bauhaus Elite. They pierce the gap.
Oh,
Dennis cleaning up the scraps. That was very close to down. She finds Watson in the middle of the field, who keeps it moving through Dennis. Dennis to Molombi, to Dawson, down that sideline. That junk defence is slowing Factory down, but they're not having any huge problems with it. Watson's just following that disc. Finds a bar in the end zone.
pretty clean offense there from Factory.
Clean and control.
That's what they need to do if they're going to get on top of Bauhaus here.
Big gaps in the defence. Lots of space.
Yeah.
Just seeing this game, Watson's really effective at just looking straight to the centre. She knows what she wants.
Yep, she goes and gets it, that's for sure.
So if Bauhaus Elite gets this, gets a score, we'll go to half time.
Correct.
At the half, we'll have the benefit of throwing to our statisticians to see what kind of things we're seeing, what kind of trends we're seeing in this game so far. Yeah, not sure if they hear me there. If they know that
they're very focused, that's for sure.
Very focused, working on their statistics programs.
Good. All right, we're almost ready.
Players just taking a lounge out there and on the line.
Bauhaus offense ready. And here comes the pull.
That
Mish
pull
Phillips
making
picking up.
A lot of distance.
Straight to Birchall. Into Malin there. Back to Birchall. Phillips. Birchall moving it very quickly through that centre there. Phillips. Looking for Birchall again. Out to the far side there to Malin, who puts it long there, just out of reach of Baker, and it's just gone down to the ground.
Phil's falling back as a handler, and good early movement. It was not a lot of cuts coming from downfield, but the handlers just took control of that till half, and then the swing, look to the end zone. Watson with the disc in hand.
Here we go.
Early swing, no look to air. That was pre-planned. Bar to Watson. Puts up the back, and a stream of Factory girls. Can they? The little Mac to Foster, and the dinky throw to Dennis, which just gets reeled in.
Unfortunately, not much that Mish Phillips could do in that situation. 3-1. It's outnumbered there.
She put all the pressure she could on.
She did.
And that little Mac, which was pressure forced, lands in a player's hand anyway, so there's nothing you can do.
All right, Factory score. Bauhaus on offense. Getting the hang of this thing.
Brings the score to 7-4 or 7-5, Anne?
almost ready for this next point. Bauhaus ready.
Julian, Adelaide, Abby, Kirsten, Kia, Millie.
It looks like Malombi from Factory will be pulling for this point.
Wait.
The pull goes up. And Chloe McDonald's picking up there. Straight into Mumford, who makes a long pass here. Let's see what we can do. Birchall takes the catch. Looking for 10, she's just out of the way. Cox comes in, just onto the end zone line, back to Birchall. Big stretch there, just out of reach there. Very close there for Bauhaus to get that point.
Maylin Chua usually has this uncanny way of grabbing the disc out of the air, but unfortunately unable to reach that one. We have Malombi bringing the disc to the line. Side stack isolating Dennis in the center, and she has the disc, dumps to air. Emerson charging across, finds a space. Onto the back end, finds Malombi on the line. The mark from Cox shuts off the back end. Dennis is now on the line, puts it to space. Dawson with the option.
Oh.
Amazing connection down the sideline.
Factory are on a roll here.
Put the pressure on. Maybe Bauhaus thought they were going to roll away with that point to half. No go.
Factory are definitely definitely stepped up here. They're really working together. The passes are open. They're cutting hard. Bauhaus will have to readjust here.
Dennis's look down the line is fantastic into the space. Dawson just shut off her opponent, gave her no chance to really have a bit at the disc.
A couple of superstar players there, that's for sure.
Yes, please. Thank you.
But it's definite You Can Disc play of the day. Our play today brought to you by You Can Discs, the official sponsor of SMO 2017. We had the honour of having Say from You Can Discs out here at the tournament today, and it looks like he's just arrived at the fields now for day 2. He's come out to see what Australian Ultimate has to offer. So far, very impressed. We thank You Can Discs for their support.
Bauhaus on offense here. Pull's about to go up. Okay, Rach Mihatch there, picking up. Straight into Stevenson, and it's just taken out of her hand there. Bit of a discussion.
I don't think there'll be too much contest on that.
Decided it's Stevenson's there. So players will reset to where they were and play. Here we go, Stevenson to Gross. Has that long look.
Oh. Foul is called on the play. Deadman kind of tripping over the receiver's foot. The discussion will be whether it affected her ability to have a grab at it. Do you think it affected her ability?
It's so hard to tell because it depends what perspective you kind of see. I don't know whether she would have got there, possibly.
From this perspective, it kind of looked like she wouldn't have made it. We can see on the replay here. And we're back in play anyway, so don't worry about
Back to Matthews. Into Gross. Pick it up.
Unfortunate.
Perfect. Back out there to Stevenson. Across to Matthews, who just trips up, and it affects her catch there.
Watson with the disc, just looking downfield. She wants Dennis, and she's going to try force it. Unfortunately, unable to make it. Finds Barr downfield instead. Looking to Foster on the sideline.
A foul call happening
Foul called
there.
on the throw.
Yeah, foul call on the throw there. I guess it was going out of bounds, so it probably affected that bit of it.
Watson with the disc in the centre. Finds Ringland on the side. Dennis with that vertical leap again, unfortunately unable to reel it in.
Stevenson picks up for Bauhaus to Gross. Looks again long, and she's got 2 options here. Perfect, number 35 there. Sullivan. And she passes back to Mihatch. To Gross. Looking for her options there. Oh, it's a bit cluttered there, but into Matthews, just outside the end zone there. Back to Gross. They're trying to find some clear space here. Looking. Stevenson's just grabbed it. She's still outside the end zone. Looking in, and
That's
great
Sullivan again.
pass there to Georgia Sullivan.
She reels it in. Factory had put in a real influence on just really shutting down the unders, that open side. A lot of room on the break, but the Bauhaus girls forcing it down that sideline.
Well, they got it around, and now they're at half, so scores
scores
are
at 8-6.
8-6.
So we have the pleasure for this game for having our statisticians in the commentary box. We're going to give them an opportunity to give a snapshot of how the game's going.
Well, hello. We are the resident statisticians. We're still testing this, so we've missed a couple of points, but we have some numbers on what's going on in the game so far. Let's just talk about where things are running. So most of the numbers we have are just offense, so it's passes, goals, assists. We can look at blocks, but defensive numbers are sort of the next problem. So in terms of who's doing things, the main throwers on each team are Hope Watson for Factory, and we've also got Shuei Gross for Bauhaus Elite, as well as Kath Matthews with a lot of touches on the disc. In terms of how things are looking, I guess, we've got Adelaide with a goal and an assist for Factory. Sorry, they're probably more than this. We've only got data for half the points. But Abby Dawson also with 1 goal and 1 assist. Lorna Barr with 2 goals for Factory. And then on the other side of the ledger, we've got Ayumi Sano with 1 goal, Georgia Sullivan with a goal as well. I guess we're missing a few things, but in terms of what we'd like to have, we don't have any integration with the LTTV stream just yet, but if we come back in the afternoon, we might try and get these numbers up on the screen for you. But I guess the other thing we're just trying to look at is team level statistics, so points on offense, conversions for offense, how many times your offense turned it, and if they turned it, when they got it back, and then the same sort of thing for your defensive numbers, so your defensive points, and then how many times you get a turnover, and then once you've got the turnover, how many times you convert that for a goal. We don't really know what that looks like at the minute. My instinct is that sort of a high-level Nationals game will have probably less than 1 turnover in a point, maybe 2 or 3 if it's a bit of a long one, but we're really sort of expecting these teams to be playing at a high level, and I think you've seen some nice connections on the field. I might just put on my associate Robert and see if he wants to talk through anything else.
Yeah, so Bauhaus definitely has a much bigger roster here. They seem to be a little less focused. They obviously have Lucy Stevenson, Kath Matthews, Shuei getting a lot of touches on the disc and making a big impact. But they're also moving around through a lot of their players. I would say that most of their players have 1, 2, 4 touches. Factory seem to be a little more concentrated, a lot of 1 and 2s, but Hope Watson, Adelaide Dennis, Kirsten Iyer, dominating the stats, Kia and Lorna picking up as well, a 6. It's nice to see a lot of these players still with 100% completions. There have been a few turnovers, but I would say this is an elite level game. These are elite level players. The goals, we've only been taken, like we were saying, we've missed a few at the start, but Lorna Barr's picked up 2 for Factory, doing a good work, but largely it's just 1 goal. And I think it speaks to the depth and quality of these teams that they're able to spread their goals out through a larger number of players. I think it looks good, and I think this is a quality game. particularly after a strong first few points. Factory seems to have stabilised a lot, stopped the bleeding, as it were, come through a lot more good offensive holds coming out. I think Factory will need to manufacture a bunch of blocks and really start putting them in. They need a few more breaks to close the gap and come into this game, but if they can keep their offense up, keep those nice holds coming in, that'll give them a nice stable base to work on and get some blocks. We'll be back doing more stats this afternoon and throughout the season. If you're interested, talk to Andy Wood or Rob Swan.
Welcome back to the second half of the quarterfinal here at SMO between Canberra Factory, Bauhaus Elite. We've seen a fantastic first half. It was looked like Bauhaus was going to run away with the half at was it 7-3 before Canberra Factory put on a little bit of a show, pulled 3 back before Elite finished it off. In the commentary box with me, I have Amelia Tony.
I'm going to have to correct you there. It's actually Emilia. And it's,
so sorry.
you're not the first one and you won't be the last. But just put it out there. Emilia, but we'll go with M. M is fine.
M is great. I got confident.
It happens all the time. It's a very weird first name, that's for sure. All right, so Bauhaus is starting on defense. We've got Shui Gross there with the disc ready for the pull. Factory on offense. Shouldn't be too far away from this first pull. Here we go.
Fantastic pull, good distance, air, catches on the full, moves it to Watson in the centre. It's a side stack initiated for Factory. A floaty forehand is put up to Dawson. Not sure if that was the original receiver intended, but it finds Dennis now in the centre. Across to Ringland to Watson, who looks to the end zone, not on. Squeezes the gap to Dennis, who are at the around backhand. Oh, is it pulled down?
Is it? No.
Bobbled out of the hand.
Oh, close.
Dennis is really making a big difference through the middle. She's not afraid to put a shot to the end zone. We'll see this disc into the hands, hits the ground.
Young player here, Paula Castrolon. May have pronounced that wrong, but picking up the disc. She's looking. Not quite, couldn't quite get it there to Stevenson, who was blocked up the line there by Factory.
Watson with the disc. She looks to swing and puts the throw over the top, and it finds Ringland. My apologies. Finds Ringland at the back of the end zone. Fantastic look from Watson.
Interesting to see how both teams come out here after half. Obviously, Factory came back quite strong in that first half there. And Bauhaus have been very strong and then kind of tapered off a little bit there just before the half point there. So it'll be interesting to see what each team brings to this second half. Just watching the replay there. So it went disc initially went over the first Factory player and then found second one at the back there. Okay, so Bauhaus is on offense here. We've got on the line, we've got Sano, Chua, Mumford, Phillips, Tan, McDonald, and Birchall.
Watson with the disc in hand. She's going to be pulling in.
Okay, the pull comes up. And to Mumford. Into McDonald. Across to Birchall. Back across to McDonald in the centre of the field there. She goes up there to Sano and sends it long to Tan. There's a fantastic little runner there.
Fantastic look to the end zone.
She's come up through the VUL, so we've got Hayley Tan there, who's currently playing with Ellipsis in the VUL season, and she's just a fantastic young player coming into this sport. Bauhaus will be happy to score that point.
The girls get around each other. They're very, very happy with the play, as you should be. It's a great look. Looked like maybe. It was either a mixed communication of force or a middle force, either one. A couple of different things happening there for the defenders. But bites on the defence and the thrower is able to reel around on the backhand, put it out in front of 10.
Shue Gross there, she will pull for this next point. Factory on offense.
Factory, we have Barr, Dennis, Ringland, Emerson, Dawson, Barcham, and seventh I can't quite see. Is that McDonald?
Okay, here we go.
Barton with disc in hand. The zone is on. Looks like a puppy wall. Ringland dumps to Emerson. They're very stuck in that corner. The high back end over the top to Malombi. So I missed on the line before. Malombi to Dennis. To Barcham. Just gets a grab on it. Fingertips to Emerson. The one-handed grab, very confident. Looks to move it quickly. Barcham hasn't played a lot of the handler role today, but she looks quite confident. Floaty backhand over the top to the space to Malombi. Reels around the forehand, sees the space. Fortunately, not enough gas on it to bar down the line.
Okay, Karen Baker picking up the disc here for Bauhaus. She's got Vino out there to her dump side. She passes up the line there to Shue Gross. She's looking for something. Up the line there to Baker, who's looking for Sullivan, and she gets that.
Sullivan very strong in the end zone. That's a great response from Bauhaus. Hard zone, and really looked actually like Factory was going to break through.
It's one of the strengths of Bauhaus. It's very hard to rattle them. I've played for them and against them, and it's quite difficult to think that you've got the upper hand at any point, because they reassess, and they've always got something in their back pocket that they can give to the next point if something's not quite gone right. So they're a fantastic group of women who's always looking for the next best move for them.
That takes some high-level training and coaching to have that ability.
Yeah, and they've totally got all those resources as well. They've got lots and lots of players who've been to world level, world games level, and they also look to get coaches from different, who come from different places, perspectives, who've got different ideas, and it's really helped them over the course of that the club's been in existence. Basically, they've always been a very strong club. So Bauhaus will be on defence for this next point. Birchall there with the disc for the pull.
Air is looking to receive the disc just short of the brick mark. She dumps to Watson, back to Air. Powerful backhand so far we've seen this game. Dennis finds in the centre with a one-handed grab. Back to Air, looks down the line. Finds Crow. The outstretched hands very close to the sideline. The forehand around to Dennis. Puts it to the end zone. Unfortunately unable to find Foster.
Okay, Bauhaus getting ready to play offense down the field here. Chua going to pick up the disc. Just taking her time to come back into the line, making sure her players are ready. Right on that far sideline there. Birchall makes a cut up the line, comes back, gets it. Centres the disc to the middle there a bit more. She puts it up. Who's going to be on the end of it here? There's lots of players in it. Oh, just hit out of the air by Factory.
Big contest, and disc is quickly picked up by Watson. To Air. Foster, the bid isn't unsuccessful. Foster looks to move it downfield and dumps it back to Air. She's got her eyes on the end zone. Forehand around to Malombi. Looks down the line, now swings around, looking for the dump. Air's working very hard to get around. Finds Air on the sideline. Air is...
She's got it.
Centre part at this point. She's done really well finding the end zone there. Finds... she found in the end zone there? McDonald.
As play's been running, you might have noticed on the far sideline that Ruben Berg is doing some training for future game advisors. So currently he's running things through there with Mary Tony out on the far sideline, who's looking to become a game advisor. So if you see them kind of having discussions and doing their signals and discussing, that's what they're doing on the far sideline there.
I reckon the game advisor is a great addition.
I think so too. Obviously, the sport itself is so unique with that self-umpiring, but because people can see what happens, whether you're involved or not, it's such a different perspective from every single point. So it's really good to have someone who's, not a part of either team to really give their point of view when things get a bit tough.
It's a point of view, and then they can communicate it to everyone else sitting back at home watching the stream. We can see the signals, we can know what's happening.
Sometimes it's the hard part is you don't know, as I'm finding out, as a commentator, you don't know sometimes what's happened. So having those signals shown to us by the game advisors and by people on the field really makes it a lot easier. Okay, so Bauhaus here on offense. We've got Stevenson, Matthews, Mihach, Phillips. I'm just finding names on the list here. Sano, Baker and Chua. So looking ready to go. A couple of new players on Bauhaus, which is really fantastic to see as well this season.
Mihach is a power player I Love watching play. Very powerful.
She's got those beautiful backhand throws.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Into Mehatch, picking up. Stevenson. Phillips makes a great cut there. Picks it up and back to Mehatch on the sideline. She's looking into the middle for Stevenson. Back to Mehatch. We're looking for upfield movement, but there's nothing happening. No options there at the moment. Straight across there to Baker. Up to Matthews. And she goes for the big pull out here. Not sure if it's going to come back in. Unfortunately, no. So it's turnover there for Bauhaus.
The person defense working really well for Factory in this game again. It gets a turnover. The disc is coming up the field quite a bit. Disc never returned to the field, obviously. It looks like Barcham will come in off the sideline. Crowded sideline. So we'll see if she can throw through. Disc is coming in near half. Throw to Dennis's right hand, not connecting.
Phillips picking up the disc for Bauhaus. Straight over. Oh, just out of reach of Mehatch there.
We've got another shot at this. That's an easy turnover. Molombi with disc in hand. Swings to Barcham. Finds Emerson. Fading away on the cut. She wants the dump. It's not coming quite yet. And the floaty high disc finds Dennis. Straight up mark. Barcham. It's a crowded under space. Ringland, a huge block from Matthews. You can hear that from here.
Kath Matthews there with a fantastic block. You can hear it from the sideline. Okay, Stevenson making her way over to pick up the disc for Bauhaus. What are her options? Back into the middle there to Baker. Straight across to the other sideline here to Mehatch. She's looking. Back to Baker in the middle. Straight. Oh, unfortunately, Baker has thrown it looking for Matthews, but unfortunately went it straight into a Factory player.
Ringland just found herself in the right spot at the right time that time. She looks surprised as anyone. Dennis reels around. She's had lots of shots in the end zone. That one doesn't come off.
Redemption there for Baker. She got the D. So that's good. Stevenson making her way to pick up again. So we've got a horror stack here happening with Bauhaus. Stevenson picks up the disc, ready to play from the far sideline. Straight into the middle to Baker. Up to Matthews, who lays out. Back to Baker. And straight to a Factory player.
Emerson looks around, high and floaty discs.
And Phillips. Classic Phillips jump out of nowhere.
That reach is incredible.
She's just the bounciest player. She can jump so high, it's amazing to watch. And effortlessly as well, like every time. Okay, Stevenson again picking up the disc. She's not quite on the sideline now, more towards the middle.
Fantastic defence there. We see on the replay.
I've just missed it too. All right, Stevenson. Into Baker. Sure, looking for it, but she's not quite in the right spot there yet. Stevenson back to Baker. Here she goes up the line here to Chua. Perfect. She looks long. We've got Sano on the other end, and she's got it outside of the end zone. Looking for her options. Back to Baker, who just jumps it in for the goal. So Karen Baker there with the goal for Bauhaus.
With the stomp.
I love those
Full
ones.
stop on the end of the score. Fantastic play. That was an experienced line from Bauhaus. And they would have been pretty disappointed if they didn't put that away.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the sheet here, it's pretty hard not to find experience. They're quite a talented bunch, that's for sure. So we just saw again on the replay that nice little jump into the goal there from Karen Baker, Bauhaus. So score check here, we've got Bauhaus on 11 and Factory on 8. So certainly not out of Factory's league to get back to here, to even up the scores a little bit. But to not allow that to happen, Bauhaus are going to have to keep rolling with what they're, this really great play that they've got going at the moment.
It's 8-11. There's 10 minutes of game time left, and that means Factory has a big job in their hands if they want to pull this back. They don't have a lot of time.
They don't have a lot of time.
It is a hard time cap. It means finish the point that you're playing. If it is a draw at that stage, play another point.
Okay, Shuei Gross with the disc about to pull for Bauhaus. Factory on offense.
Offense, we have Molombi, Foster, Emerson, Crow, Deadman, Watson, and Air. Air with the disc in hand with the push pass. Love it, why not? Finds Molombi very hot on the heels. Stevenson on defense there. Finds Deadman down the line. Reels around the forehand, not on. Wants to go center. Again, still not on, but Air very effective on that that cut around. And unfortunately, the forehand is not quite as effective.
Okay, so Stevenson with the disc there on the far sideline, just bringing it back to where it was thrown out. She's found her mark there. She goes up the line there to Castrolon. Back to Gross. Looking up there for Stevenson, who comes there. Straight up. And we've got Laura Courts there for the goal.
Big play from Bauhaus. The around forehand coming down on the receiver perfectly with a lot of space. Brings the score to 12-8. That makes Factory's job that little bit harder again.
Yeah, it is getting more difficult as time goes by, that's for sure.
It's a completely different game for them today after yesterday on the showcase field.
Yeah, I wasn't able to see that game, so.
Well, they have a quite effective long game. Wind doesn't help that. Overly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Even just the slightest bit of wind just puts a whole new perspective on how you need to throw it.
Yeah.
Just watching the replay there of that last goal.
I missed who the timeout was called by. There is a timeout at the moment. I thought that
I'm going to hazard a guess that it was maybe Factory. So they're looking a little bit more serious than what Bauhaus are at the moment. They kind of look like they're having a bit of a game or a joke over there. So
yep.
I'm going to assume it was a Factory.
There's a committee meeting away from the rest of the squad.
That's usually a good indication of who's called it. Bauhaus looking pretty relaxed at this stage.
They're rallying the troops. The Factory girls are keen to not just let this last few minutes just fade away. They want to go hard. Maybe it's the beauty of where we are, that maybe unaware of the time and just the pressure on them.
Yeah. It's like that when you play. You often forget that there is a time limit.
There is a time limit.
So you get so involved with what's happening on the field that you don't kind of worry about what's happening off it.
It's also the variable of hard time cap, being that you don't get a chance to chase that last couple if you're
which is different
behind.
to most tournaments that are played, but this being kind of a lead-up tournament in a way to nationals, they put the hard time cap on just to keep us to the schedule.
A lot of games to be played, tight schedule. And as you say, lead up tournament. On the opposite field, we can see one of the Juggernaut teams, the Melbourne Juggernaut team, warming up. It looks like the Chile team will be their next opponent. Two of the top teams in the men's division. I'm sure that's going to be a fantastic game.
I should know which hosts that is as well, knowing that Lachlan plays on one of them. So
I coach a host team, and I still don't know which one's which.
It's pretty. I mean, it's a hard difference this season because there's, they've gone X, Y instead of A, B. So it's, I mean, you've got huge amounts of talent on both teams, which is great. Be interesting to see who won. They actually played together this morning, each other, both the top teams. So I don't know what the result of that game was.
It's worth noting both squads missing a few key players out for a wedding in Sydney. I'm not here this weekend. But they are quite deep squads and big squads, so they've covered that quite well. And you've got players from the Colossus squad, which is going to Division 2, played at Regionals a couple of weeks ago. They're playing as fill-ins for one of the squads. I'm going to call it the Ashcroft squad.
The Ashcroft squad. Yeah.
Ashcroft
squad.
So that's 77 minutes of game time gone.
Yep. So not far out from this final.
Making the assumption that our game time clock is similar to the TD clock.
So both teams are out on the line, ready to get this next point underway. We've got Bauhaus on defence, with Drew Birchall making the pull there.
Watson with the disc, receives to air. Bit of a split stack set. Finds Dennis in the centre to bar. Watson chasing the disc, always not too far from the action. Ringland with the disc, swings it to air, looks to continue the swing and finds Dennis on the open side. Oh, the disc just picked up by Ringland. And the floaty one to Watson finds a hand as well. The tips disc from Malin Chua, intercepting what looked like a upcoming score.
Fantastic there from Chua. Got Chloe McDonald going to pick up the disc. And she's pretty close to that far sideline there. Again, Bauhaus in a horizontal stack. Chloe looking. She's got nothing there, so looking for Birchall. Up the line, fantastic there. Birchall goes for a long throw there. And unfortunately, no one quite there on the end of it. So it's a turnover, Factory picking up.
Definitely saw that moment in the receiver's eyes of, oh dang, that's coming to me. I better run.
We've all been in that position before.
Watson with the disc on the sideline. Horizontal stack from Factory. Zone set. Ringland receives, sets it up. Bard chases the floaty disc. Covers that very safely. Ringland with the disc. Looks back down the line, looking to Dennis or Bar. Either one will do. Crow with a lot of space, but Dennis holds the disc. She's going to look to dump to Ringland, swing to air. He really wants that breakthrough and finds Watson. Trying to pierce the gap, Tony Cox shuts it down.
Great D there by Tony Cox. Who's picking up? Jess Mumford picking up. Looking up the line there to Tony Cox. To Chua, who looks long. Can she reach? Not quite.
Quite a sight seeing Kira, a sideline supporter of Bauhaus here, chasing down the sideline, watching the play with dog carried in the arms like a baby. Dog seems pretty keen to just go with the flow. That is time cap, which means we'll finish this point. Air with the disc in hand, floaty backhand. That's going to be hard to
And
take down.
Sano gets her hand to the disc there for Bauhaus. Got Birchall picking up. Goes into the middle there to McDonald. Over to Chua. Chua looking for the option in. Back to McDonald, who's in the centre of the field. Unfortunately, McDonald's just gone a little bit too fast, Birchall there.
She looked a little bit off balance as she threw and just went, dived into the ground. Watson disc in hand. The poachy junk defence works effectively in that case, I guess.
Yeah, it's just gone through 4 players. So that
Yeah.
with Jess Mumford coming over to pick up for Bauhaus. Hopefully they can keep working together here if they're going to get it in. Goes straight up long. Hayley Tan on the end of it. She grabs it. She's just outside the end zone. Oh, and she's just reacted a little bit too quickly and gone past Tony Cox there.
The adrenaline pumping, just a lot of hot sauce on that little finishing pass.
Bauhaus might be thinking that they just want to finish this point, but they're perhaps rushing it a little bit at the moment.
Again, that junk defence set. Watson with the disc in hand, looking to swing it across field.
Oh!
Call made.
Yep, foul's been called. Not sure who on or by.
Looks like
Bit of
foul
bumping.
against Air. Cox reaching over the top. Forehand around to Dennis. Pinpoint. Dennis winds up, big backhand, looking for Dawson. Sits underneath the disc and
Chua just gets enough in the way to make that a hard catch for the factory. She comes across to Hayley Tan. Tan back to the middle to Cox. Back to Birchall. Across to the sideline there to Tan. Back to the middle, Birchall. Up on the far sideline there to Mumford. She's looking up the line again to Birchall. Birchall moves around a fair bit, doesn't she? Okay, Birchall up the line again to McDonald. Looking to Sano, who goes, just a bit out of reach there for Cox, but she made the bid for it, which was fantastic. Just
big
out.
bid. Again, potentially a little unneeded to push that last pass. Not a lot of defenders
They're
in the area.
panicking in the red zone here.
Air with the disc. Dennis snatches it out of the hands of Cox. Finds Dawson. Wants to move it downfield. Not really many options. So back to Dennis. Dennis on the sideline and pushes it a little bit too far in front of Friedland.
Okay, Bauhaus have got another opportunity here to see if they can get it in. Got Birchall who's settling the players on the field there, getting them organised. McDonald's coming over to the sideline to pick it up. Let's see what she can do here. Just got a foot correction there on the line. Chua into just past the middle there.
Oh, that's a definite contact on the mark. That's a foul called against Dawson. Uncontested.
Okay, so they've sorted that out. So Chua with the disc to Cox. She's looking for Chua. Back to the middle, who goes over the top there to Birchall, nice and tall. She's looking into McDonald, straight across to Chua. And Birchall takes that pass. Fantastic. Bauhaus have taken the win here over Factory. Final scores 13-8. Fantastic.
Thank you very much for joining us on this stream today. Bauhaus Elite versus Canberra Factory. Bauhaus Elite taking the win. Thank you very much to my fellow commentator, M. Tony, well
And
done.
thanks for having me. I've enjoyed the
worries.
experience.
We'll see you for the next stream in not too long. Thank you.
Okay, bye.